8 plumbing tips from 88 years of plumbing experience. And as you see, I have a special guest in here today. One of the reasons that I'm even in plumbing. Grant, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
I'm Grant Speak. I own and operate a plumbing repair company in Garland, Texas, Speaks Plumbing.
And unfortunately for the world, you're the one that introduced me into plumbing.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I understand how you feel. You know, between Grant and I, we've got right at 88 years of experience. I know because I've got about 44 years and we started about the same time. So I thought it'd be great just to give you 8 tips from people that have been plumbing that long. And Grant owns his own company and has for almost 40 years.
Yeah, 1987.
Yeah, 87. And we started around 80, 81. So I want to jump in and say, Grant, what would be your first tip to somebody in the trades?
Well, I would tell a young guy that, you can have a career, not just a job. I mean, it's what you want to make of it every day. If you just want to have a job and show up and get by, but plumbing gives a young guy an opportunity to have a career. You can move up in a union, do very well. You can work be a supervisor at a new construction company, or you can put your time in and own and operate your own plumbing service company.
You know, I love that. And, there's so many different ways to get in it and learn. And I tell people, look, plumbing is a licensed skilled trades. It's a profession. And it's not just a career. It's not just a job. It is a profession. And you're expected to act like a professional each and every day. One of my tips, so tip number 2, never stop learning. And a lot of tradespeople do this, especially the skilled trades. You get your license and you think, okay, look, I'm a plumber now. I got in the trade to become a plumber. And you're like, look, I hit my goal. So a lot of people, and to me, that's really scary. They get in as a plumber, they get that license, and they never learn anything else except continuing education. And most of them just complain about it and don't really want to be there anyway. Yep. But it's never stop learning. Whatever you do, keep learning. Learn about leadership, management, things that you can do to grow the value that you bring to your company, and therefore you're going to make more money in the future.
Yeah, kind of what you were saying. I tell people in our meetings all the time, there's no dumb people. I mean, no dumb questions, just dumb people that won't ask the questions. Yeah. I don't care who you are and how much experience you got. You can learn from somebody else that's been in the trade, longer than you or shorter than you.
It's funny. Randy used to talk about when he'd go out on the job site, they normally in the union, they'll tour you around, show you the job, introduce you to people. And they'd always come by somebody and say, look, this is the old guy that nobody wants to work with. Randy's like, no, that's the one I want to work with. He's like, you have no idea what you're asking for. He says, yeah, I do. Those are the old honorary guys. But if you get in, you work hard, they'll teach you everything they know. And it's amazing.
Yep.
Another one for me is always do the right thing. And I know you're going to talk about this in a minute, but I learned from Grant's oldest brother, who was a perfectionist. The letters had to be turned up, everything true, plumb, and square. It was done right each and every day before you left. And it's a neat thing to learn. Always try to do the right thing. When I had a problem in the union, they asked about my plumbing, and one of the journeymen that had a problem with me literally says, hey, look, I can't complain about his plumbing. He does it very well. So that's always been a big one for me. What about you? Something else?
I like to tell my guys a lot, just don't just have it a job. Watch and learn. You can watch and learn from who you're working with, whether it's an apprentice that's working for you, under you, or a plumber. And go further than just watching and learning. Ask him questions if you don't know why he's doing something a certain way. And you can just continue to learn.
I love that. I remember asking Lynn, one of Grant's other brothers, when I first got into the union, give me a piece of advice. He said, listen to your apprentices. They're learning new things each and every day. So sometimes they may see a way to do it that you're not even thinking of. Another big one for me is trade shows. Get into trade shows. Now, a lot of plumbers spend their whole career and never even go to a trade show. But once I started doing social media, I started going to them. And that's where you find the leading edge tools, materials, equipment, and technology. There's so many things out there that you can learn. And by getting out into trade shows and being around other plumbers and seeing what they do can teach you new things that may help you as a plumber or you as a plumbing company owner.
One of the things I talk about all the time with my guys is I stress to them all the time, do your work, do your job like you'd want it done at your house, or you'd want someone to do it at your mom's house. If you're doing that, you're treating them fair, you're treating them honest, you're doing quality work. Never take advantage of someone just because maybe they don't know plumbing and you can sell something and make more money. Do like you want done at your house. I want all my stuff fixed correctly, but I don't want to overpay or pay for something just because somebody can sell me something that I don't really need.
I love that. But also as a plumber, I believe in doing a 360 inspection. And I learned this from a guy that told me a story about a doctor walking through a hospital. The doctor walks through and he sees one of his patient's name on the door, but that's not why he's here. So he walks in and he says, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" And the guy's laying there, he's got his arm in a cast and laying in a hospital bed. And he said, "Well, doctor, when I left your office the other day, I had a heart attack and I died. And I died twice on the way here. And they were able to resuscitate me and get me back. And man, they didn't think I was going to make it." He said, "I know when you were in the office, we took your blood pressure. We didn't think you'd survive." He said, "Well, why didn't you tell me?" He says, "Well, you were just there to get a cast on your arm." As professional plumbers, we need to be able to look at somebody's house and say, "Hey, look, we're changing this flapper every year. We did a water quality test and your chlorine level is extremely high. A water filtration system may help." So I love giving customers options and understanding those options are out there, but never be a pushy salesman.
Right.
My last one, tip number 8, build an amazing network. Now, I interviewed Grant a while ago for the podcast, and that's one thing that he said, that's how he likes to find his plumbers. He'll reach out to the plumbers he already knows, or if a plumber or he already knows calls him and says, "Grant, look, man, I got a guy that would be really good for your company, for your culture, for the things that you do." Man, what a great way to do it. And it doesn't just have to be plumbers. Build a network of plumbers, electricians, HVAC techs, roofers, anybody that you know that works on people's houses. The reason being, when I walk in people's houses, or used to, I love telling them, "Look, my job is to help you take care of your most prized possession, your home. And if it means you've got electrical problems, I want to refer you to a great electrician, not one that's just there to make a lot of money off of you." So these are 8 tips. Again, Grant, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Grant Speak. I own and operate.
Go ahead, you're good.
I own and operate Speaks Plumbing in Garland, Texas. We do all residential service.
And where can people find you on Facebook? Oh, wait, he's not. Go to Speaks Plumbing, SPEAKES Plumbing. Guys, he's been doing it great. He's been doing it a long time. And anytime I have questions about the business end and there's something that I really don't know, I'll call Grant and say, "Hey, man, look, I need some help." Build a network. It really is good for you. And if you love this video, you'll definitely love the next one.